Hello and welcome back to another one of my videos. So far, two of my most anticipated reads of the year have come out: The Reappearance of Rachel Price and Powerful by Lauren Roberts. And I decided to, talk about them. Today I'm going to be talking about The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and I think I'm going to make this a little series, so I will be making a video about Powerful, and it will come out, a week later or 2 weeks later, depending on my posting schedule. So yeah, we're gonna get started with The Reappearance of Rachel Price. Right, so The Reappearance of Rachel Price follows an 18-year-old Belle who has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness, but she had no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agree to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for filming to end, for life to go back to normal. And then the impossible happened. Rachel Price reappears, and life will never be normal again. Rachel has an unbelievable story about what happened to her. Unbelievable because Belle isn't sure if it's real. Is Rachel lying? And then where has she been all this time? And could she be dangerous? With the camera still rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really came back from the dead. From world-renowned... Well, yeah, so I just read the little blurb on Goodreads. And when I first read that blurb, I was shocked because it is such... I don't know if anyone has, if there's, other books with a similar trope or, prospect, please let me know, and I will be reading them ASAP, because it was so interesting. Just casually filming a documentary about your mom who disappeared 16 years ago when you were 2, and you being the only witness, and everyone thinking she's dead, and then she's just coming back while you're filming the documentary. That's the thing that was most jarring to me when I first started watching it. Just, she comes back while they're filming the documentary. I don't have words for this. It's so Holly Jackson is a mastermind. How can... I don't understand how authors' brains work for them to just be able to come up with that sort of aspect in a book. I have no clue how that works. But yeah, I gave this book obviously it's a 6-star read, so I gave it 5 stars since that's the highest you can go. And it has, I'm pretty sure this is definitely gonna be in my top 3 reads of 2024. I don't think anything is going to be able to top it, and that's saying a lot since it literally came out April 2nd. And yeah, when I was reading this, because obviously I read it on my Kindle, since I read everything on my Kindle, I kept doing annotations, and every time I got a new person I was suspicious of, I just added them to a suspect list. So I would say my little thoughts in my little note, and then under it, I would have my list of suspects and add a new one every time, I had a new one. And I think I ended up having, let me see how many I ended up having. Obviously, I'm not going to say who I have as a suspect. But yeah, let's see here. Up. Okay, so I had 7 suspects, I think. 7 suspects. Because towards the end, I was reading it so fast and so much was happening, I didn't even want to, I just highlighted and went. I couldn't even note, because I was too much is happening for me to note my feelings. No, I gotta finish this. And finish it, I did. And this was, again, such a good book. It's so beautifully written. I love it so much. I think it is in my Holly Jackson top 3 books. And that's saying a lot. because I love all her books. I love the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series so much. I mean, that's, like, I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like, a couple years ago, and then As Good as Dead, I picked up last year, and in 2022, half the year, I had such a huge reading slump, I didn't even want to think about picking up a book. It was that bad. But when I read As Good as Dead, not A Good Girl. When I read Good Girl, Bad Blood, that got me back into my reading. And I ended up reading, I think, 80-something books that year. I ended up reading 80 books that year, 85, I think, because of Miss Holly Jackson. I love her writing so much. I loved As Good as Dead. I loved Good Girl, Bad Blood. I loved Five Survive. I loved Killjoy. I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And I was so sure that this one character, which I think I'm gonna go into detail later, but obviously I'm not gonna say it now because I'm gonna give you warnings if there's gonna be spoilers, because there is. I'm gonna do the first section of the video without spoilers, so don't worry. But I was so sure that this one character was obviously it couldn't be them. Like, why would it be them? They are the most innocent person on earth. They ended up turning out to be the worst person on earth. That is what Holly Jackson does to me. So yeah, that's like my main thoughts while reading this. And it was so good. Again, like the characters, Ash, for example. Ash is amazing. He was a very fun person to read about. At the start, I was like, oh, is he gonna be a new Ravi? He did not end up being a new Ravi, but that's fine because he was like everything we needed in this book. So yeah, that's all I have to say for the non-spoiler part of this video. Now, if you haven't read The Reappearance of Rachel Clarice, I'm gonna go into huge spoilers now, so leave if you haven't read it, because I don't want to spoil you. I want you to enjoy reading it without being spoiled. But if you've read it, just stick around. Okay, now that everyone who hasn't read The Reappearance of Rachel Clarice has left, the first thing I gotta say is the dad. The dad. He was like, I was like, no, he's a good dad. How can he have done anything? How can he have been a part in anything? He's amazing. I love him. And yes, it was a little bit jarring when she came back and he was so like cold towards her. But I was just like, I mean, he hasn't seen her in 16 years. He thought she was dead. He was in jail. No, he was on trial for her murder, because everyone thought he murdered her. So I'm like, that's like a normal reaction to why he's so shocked that she's here. I mean, his mother-in-law, literally, everyone in that town basically accused him of the murder. So I was like, obviously it's fine that he's like this. Turns out it was not fine. So yeah. And the ending, I loved. I was like so suspicious of Rachel throughout the whole book. But then the ending, I felt so bad for her. And I was so mad at the dad, which is like, why? And then of course, and I mean the plot twist between Belle and what's her name? Wait a minute, I keep forgetting. I always forget her name. But wait. Where is she? What's her name? Carter. Yes, Carter. That's like between Belle and Carter, them being sisters shocked me so much. And I was like, why would thingy uncle whatever his name is and auntie whatever her name was lie about that? Like, and it made so much sense since the dad was in jail, so he didn't know she was pregnant, and by the time he got back, she basically had already given birth, right? Am I remembering that right, or did he come back like right before she gave birth? And I think he came back after she gave birth, but still, that is so jarring. Like the reappearance. This book is so good. I can go on it go on about it for days. The next thing I gotta say is, why was the grandma, is the grandma good in the end? Because I hate her. Like, first chapter, and I'm like, go away, grandma. Like, why are you acting like this to your presumed dead daughter's husband? Like, why? Okay, like, he was found. I would understand it, like, before the trial, because she was obviously in a state of grief. She was like, oh my god, like, my child is gone. But then after he was found innocent, which he wasn't innocent, but still, why would she still hate him? I mean, I guess he wasn't actually innocent, but still, like, what? I still hate the grandma, because I don't know if she's good. I mean, I'm so confused about the kind of grandma. That's the thing, because I hated her because she called the dad the killer, and I'm like, no, he's amazing. But then the dad turned out to be a horrible person, so now I'm so confused about her. But I mean, she was still very, very rude, and yeah, I'm confused about her. So literally have no other thoughts on her except for she's rude, and I don't really like her because of her vibes. Now, Rachel Price, I was suspicious of the girl since she first showed up, because I'm like, because the thing is, like, why would because this was my thinking, why would, if she got kidnapped or if she got taken, why would he send her back when they're filming this? Wouldn't he think that, because he knew she knew who he was? Well, no, he didn't, because he doesn't remember nothing. But still, how did she obviously she convinced him because he was like nothing. He didn't know nothing. But why would she reappear while they're filming it? That's what I was so suspicious, because I'm like, no, she just probably went off, saw that they were making money off of her, and came back, because, like, she wants that money. Turns out, no. Yeah, again, this is all very, very mind-boggling to me. And I mean, okay, I loved everyone on the production of the reappearance of Rachel Price. I mean, they all seemed so sweet. They all cared about Belle. You could tell, especially from the, like, last scene where they had, like, footage that could, you know, very much hurt Belle and her family at the end. And what did the director do? He saw that it was all in the cloud. Did he report it to the police for money? No. He deleted it and gave the last little slivers of it that he had to Belle so that she could decide what she wanted to do with it. I mean, like, that is, like, such a good person thing to do. And I mean, the ending, amazing, on top. Like, that was such a good ending. And I feel so bad for Carter during, like, the end of that, because of how much guilt she went through because of, you know, what happened. And yeah, I also, Carter for president, she was amazing in this book, even though I found her sus as well. Yeah, she was on my list of suspects. Because I'm like, why are you being so, you know, close with Belle's mother? Like, I guess she's your aunt, but you're being nicer to Belle's mother than Belle. And Belle's mother is treating you more like a daughter than she was treating Belle. But yeah, then it turns out Carter was her daughter. Again, mind-boggling. So yeah, like, this whole book, mind-boggling, crazy. And I literally, like, I think about, after this book, I just sat down and thought about it for like half an hour. Hello, so it is officially like a day next, the day after I filmed the original, the first part, and that's because at the end, when I cut off, my dad came home from shopping. So yeah, and I just forgot to film until now. It's dark as you can see, but I'm using window for light. But it's still dark. Anyway, that is all I had to say. That was basically it. I was probably just gonna repeat all I said like 5 million times again, which I would have cut anyway. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and I don't know. I'll see if I make this a little series, because I do really want to talk about Powerless. But if I do make this a series, I might not post them on Saturdays, or I'll see, depending on my, I think, posting schedule, because I do try and get reading vlogs done, and as much as possible in that. And yeah, so we'll see, but I might use these as little like fillers in between while I'm filming reading vlogs, because I am not like a super fast reader. Therefore, since I'm not a super fast reader, it takes me a while to film reading vlogs. So I will probably use these as little fillers. Oh my god, it just got so dark. I will probably use these as like, oh my god, my camera. What the heck is happening here? Oh my god, wait. I will probably use these as like little fillers, little fun things I can do, since there are like a lot of books that I talked about in like my most typed books of this year. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm fading into the darkness. Literally, I go back a bit and I'm in the dark. Thank you for watching this week's video. I will see you next week when I've hopefully got a reading vlog or another review. We will see.